Hello friends, and welcome back to Wholesome Let's Plays. Please join me in having fun and relaxing with another Sierra game. This time we're playing Space Quest 3, The Pirates of Pestulon. I'm doing things a little differently this time. I'm not sure if you've noticed with the sound, but it's pretty amazing. I've never played the game with this sound, but this is using an MT32 emulator. Guess it was a pretty pricey piece of technology back in the day. Too pricey for me. But this is kind of new. A new experience for an old game, just how I like it. It has been an undeterminable amount of time since Roger Wilco rocketed away from Vohal's burning space fortress. Time stands still for our hero in suspended animation. Its engines long spent, the small escape pod drifts aimlessly through unfamiliar star fields, its course altered many times by small asteroids and space debris. Inside, Roger lies undisturbed in his sleep chamber, but not for long. Yes, that's right, we're finally calling him Roger Wilco. No longer duder, no longer you handsome man, but don't tell me that. We definitely ended Space Quest 2 on a cliffhanger. Our hero, in suspended animation, after he saved Xenon from door-to-door salesman, made his daring escape and was just like, oh, better go to sleep. And that's how the game ended. Not like Space Quest 1, where there was a huge Star Wars award ceremony. Look at the graphics on that. That robot looks so cool. The scale of that ship and the pod. Maybe it's just the sci-fi nerd in me. It's also cool. I mean, King's Quest, you get the magic, wizards and fairies. Oh, the pod, considered to be nothing more than another piece of scrap, is taken aboard a robot-commanded garbage freighter. Unfortunately, these robots have no regard for organics. Organics? You mean like me? Like Roger? There's our hero, Sleeping Beauty. The small pod is jarred by a sudden shock which triggers the sleep chamber's revive mode. As the glass shroud slides back, Roger slowly begins to regain consciousness. I'm loving this music, by the way. The sound effects too, woof! Giving me chills. Everything was so heroic in the beginning, and now we're building suspense.
Where am I?
Oh my gosh, there's voice acting. I didn't know that. Nice job, MT32. Here we are, on this garbage ship. Things might be a little dangerous here. You notice that the sounds from the pod grow softer until they are imperceptible. Having served its purpose and taxed its resources, the pod gives a final hum and shuts down. Oh, and that music. Oh man, I am smiling, friends. I hope you're ready to have a good time with me. Let's go ahead, start it off right, and save our game. Do you hear that? It's the future. And of course, let's take a look. You are standing in a debris-cluttered junk bay. An escape pod rests in the middle of the room. There are chunks of metal laying around which seem to be small sections of spaceware. Let's check out our pod here. This is the escape pod which safely whisked you away from Vohal's burning asteroid fortress. The skin of the pod plainly registers the cumulative damage long periods of space travel can inflict on a small craft such as this. That's true, I wonder how long we've been here. How long we were in stasis. We got something something here. Look ground. The floor is composed of a mosaic of overlapping welded steel plates. The menage of used metal plates appear to have been cut from a variety of sources. There is a small round object lying nearby. Look object. A closer look at the object on the floor reveals that it is a warp motivator. It looks a bit more high-tech than the other junk strewn about this locale. Sturdily constructed, its only protrusion is a modular plug near its base. Let's try taking that object. While relatively small, it seems to be quite dense. I think we're looking at a potential hernia if any attempts are made to manually relocate it. Okay, we don't want a hernia. That'd be an awful way to start our adventure here. But why don't we bump up the speed? Let's see. Oh. I don't think that really works to keep doing the plus sign. There we go. Now we're a little faster. Oh, I should be looking. Someone or something has done a real job on this tanker. Was this the result of some space battle? Or perhaps you're not the only one roaming around in here? Oh, of course. There has to be some danger lurking about. Something doesn't like us organics here. And doesn't like Transformers either. Look at that big boy. What did they do to my boy, Optimus Prime? The gutted carcass of the tanker opens up to reveal even more junk. A metal head rests nearby. Look head. Wow, an ancient model of a BattleBot. I bet you'd hate to run into whatever brought this big guy down. It looks like something poked it in the eye. Whoa. Oh gosh, you've stepped off a metallic escarpment and tumbled into the darkness. Twisted, jagged remnants of old vehicles reach out to slow your dark descent, cutting short your life in the process. It wouldn't be so bad, except for the sudden stop at the end. Next time, don't get so close to the edge. Well, we already had our first death, and I have to say that was record time. All right, bump up that speed and let's go. Back to the BattleBot head. And hopefully whatever poked its eye and severed its head isn't around anymore. Let's go a little slower and see if we can climb in that eye. Climb eye. That is a huge head with all this around. A ship. Some Legos over there on the right. Look. You find yourself at the bottom of another trash pit. An interesting array of alien artifacts is strewn from one end to the other. A large ship is in the middle, and a small one is off to one side. Look, small ship. It's a cute little thing. You've never seen anything like it in these parts, but then where are these parts? Some writing on its exterior reads, Bowman was here. Look, large ship. It's a sleek-looking number if you can disregard the junk it's rooted in. It must be a recent addition to the collection as everything seems to be intact. Etched on each side is the name Aluminum Mallard. On top is a small hatch. So that hatch there is something we'll be interested in. The object we found earlier can actually fit in there and power up that ship. That would be great if only someone had been smart enough to bring a ladder. How about just climb? There we go. Climb out of the eye. So now we know what ship we can use to get off of this larger junkyard ship. And I don't believe I looked here. You are quite impressed by the size of this junk freighter. The skeletal remains of a stripped-down space tanker stage lie half buried in scrap. What was that? Actually, I just noticed that thing in the bottom right there. Look, skeleton. It looks to be another metallic menace whose time has come and gone. Hopefully, fate will be kinder to you. I wonder if that's a reference to anything, kind of like how the BattleBot looks like an Autobot. And of course, here's Acme and a TIE fighter. There could be a lot of references here. Various types of abandoned spacecraft litter the floor of this intergalactic junkyard. All this place needs is a junkyard dog. You shiver at the thought. Look, ship. This ship is another fine but worthless Acme product. And look, TIE fighter. Do me a favor and try rephrasing that thought. Look, ship again. This bulbous craft looks like it has seen a lot of action in its day. You believe it to be a bow tie fighter dating back to the Cologne Wars. A true relic. Cologne, bow tie. You guys are cracking me up. Come on. Come on, let's get serious here. We gotta save the world. Save the universe. Or at least, as of right now, just save ourselves. Get off this ship. You are overwhelmed by the variety of space trash around each corner. A large bucket conveyor carries shredded ships to a horizontal conveyor high above. Well, maybe we can hop on this. There we go. We look so surprised. So surprised at our own ingenuity. Uh-oh. Conveyor belt certainly going toward death. This conveyor is no place for sightseeing. How about we stand and give ourselves a jump? Here. There we are. Safely on the catwalk. And now we can look. You are standing on a narrow rail suspended high above the floor of the freighter. A conveyor belt below leads to a grinder. Be careful. It's a long way down. Well, let's save our game. I think we can do another jump. Not now. You stepped off the rail. You're dead again. Way to go. I was actually curious to do the conveyor belt, but I think we can do it again later. Sometimes it's nice to see the death scenes. I wonder if you friends also like to see the death scenes. I think it's part of the Sierra experience. When you play these games and you're not familiar with them, you'll be dying a lot. But after you get familiar with them, you don't die as much, obviously, but, you kind of forget about them. They can be fun. Let's see. Let's take a look here. In this room, the rail makes a U-turn. There is a machine here which hangs under the rail. There is a chute at the bottom. In the middle are panels of monitoring devices being tended to by a droid. Look, droid. It's not a model you've seen before. The droid appears to be dedicated to its workstation. It seems harmless enough. Look, device. A grabber hangs beneath a rail. There is a seat for a driver. There is a claw underneath that. Looks capable of grabbing things. Sit, grabber. Pardon me, this program is too stupid to glean your desire from such a wonderfully crafted sentence. Please try something else. Get into grabber. There we go. I was trying to keep it a little too simple. The game's smarter than I think. Plopping into the seat, you grasp the forward-backward control of the grabber. All right, let's go. Backing up there, folks. Backing up. Everybody clear the way. Backing up here. And let's try here. Look, controls. From your seat, you see a handle presently being gripped by you, which controls motion, and a button marked claw. Okay, so we're looking for that device that was on the ground. So let's try push claw. Let's see if we hit our mark. Oh, yeah. Perfect. This is a Street Fighter. Perfect. The claw senses contact with the warp motivator, grasps it firmly, and begins the ascent back to the grabber. Too dense for us to carry, but not for our grabber, which is perfect for grabbing things. So, hey, look at us. All right, backing it on up. Backing it on up one more time, guys. Hopefully whatever's around here doesn't notice us using the technology here. No junkyard dog, not that droid, not whatever poked that battlebot's eye, especially that one. I imagine we're much more fragile than a battlebot. Okay, let's save game and maybe push claw again. Oh yeah, perfect. Sensing an adequate surface, the claw releases its cargo and begins the ascent to the grabber unit. The object thuds into place within the cavity of the ship. And we might as well leave it where we found it. I think it's best to be responsible like that. Don't want to irritate that droid. I mean, the droid's a robot. This is machinery. I mean, maybe they're friends. Maybe they're lovers in the nighttime. Get off, grabber. And we'll save our game one more time, because I'm going to, I guess, just jump into this chute. Here we go. Fortunately, you come to a relatively soft landing in a pile of debris. Oh no. Those rats. Well, we'll take a basic look first. You seem to be, ooh, the music is so spooky. You seem to be in a debris-enclosed hollow. Poking out of the ceiling is the chute which you originally entered through. Some crusty lamps linked by non-UL approved wire provide additional illumination. Look, rats. You can hear something scurrying around above you. You can't actually see the rats because they're hidden in the shadows. Well, the game's just helping us out there, letting us know there's rats. But poor Roger, he doesn't know. Look at this lighting. So interesting. Well, what am I supposed to do here? Take one more look. There's some crusty lamps, some wire. Okay, let's try a lamp. The aging lamps add extra light to the area. Overused wires link them to power. I think there's something over here. Look, wall. The walls consist of compacted refuse. Yuck! There seems to be a small hole in the west one. There we go. So I guess that's how I'm supposed to get that hint, that I'm supposed to look for a hole. You peer into the small opening and notice a tiny reactor which seems to be providing power for the lights. Seems like something we could use. You unhook the reactor from the cheap wires and take it with you. Dark and spooky, don't come for me, rats. I'll be out of your hair or fur in a second. Climb ladder. See, that's a ladder we can climb. Oh yeah. Bending aside a thin piece of scrap, you find an opening into another area and climb on in. Oh, well, we just circled back now, didn't we? So now that we have a reactor, I believe that's one more piece of technology we can use to power up that ship. Because sadly, our pod will no longer work. But this will be the second, I guess, battery we can use, and, well, that's just fine with me. But, hello, whoa! How, Biv? Oh my gosh, that rat just Looney Tuned me. You seem to have been mugged by some type of large rat. As you pick loose fur from your teeth, you notice a less bulky feeling. Well, I guess Roger was fighting by gnashing. He's a biter. He's a biter when it comes to fighting. Well, I guess we should check out our inventory. Glowing gem. Oh, that's from Space Quest 2. But he took our reactor. Hey, what? We get... well, let's take a look at our gem. You are still carrying the piece of Orium you picked up on Labian during your last adventure. However, it has long since lost its glow. Well, maybe if I put gem in my mouth. That's only helpful in Space Quest. Well, I'm glad they remember that. Okay. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. It's kind of nice that Space Quest always keeps that continuity. That in Space Quest 2, you still have the translator from Space Quest 1, and here, you still have the gem from the second game. Let's save our game. Just because I want to try out the conveyor belt death. What about you, friends? Don't you want to see it? I mean, maybe you feel bad for poor Roger. I mean, I sometimes do, putting him through the ringer like this, or I guess the grinder in this case. But let's give it a shot. Not a pretty sight. Shredded like an iron Contra document, your many independent parts flutter to the bottom. And let's just say, it's pretty rough. Very rough. You're a less than choice cut, Wilco. The USD. All right, okay, let's restore here. Well, I don't think we even have to go back that route, honestly. I think we can climb our ladder over here. Climb ladder. Aha, look at that. The rats put the reactor back where I found it. Well, they wanted to power up their joint, you know? They need some light. I can't blame them. I need light too. But I also need this reactor, and I'm going to take it again. And hopefully the rats don't come for me again. Climb ladder. And I'm going to take that ladder. You grab the ladder and jam it in your pocket. Ouch. Okay, so I can put a ladder in my pocket, but I couldn't take the device on the ground from before. That's fine. That's fine. You keep your Sierra logic game. I'm fine with it. And we'll take a look at the suspicious-looking wires. Except for the one on the left. Most of the wires here look dangerously worn. But we will take the wires on the left. You take the only decent piece of wire available. So, friends, I'd like to check in with you again and ask how everything's going this week. On my end, I actually haven't been recording anything for the past 2 weeks. Thankfully, I had content ahead of schedule, but I finally caught COVID. It finally happened. I guess it was only a matter of time. But 3.5 years of not having COVID, I think, is a pretty good run. So it definitely laid me out for a week, and maybe you can still hear that I'm recovering. But thankfully, I am on the mend, and that's good. And I'm happy to be back here playing games and hanging out with you guys. Put down ladder and climb ladder. So there wasn't a whole much for me to do except watch some shows. You notice it to be slick up here. Be careful. Oh, good hint to save the game. One silly show I was checking out was Garth Marenghi's Dark Place, a very, very silly spoof of old 80s shows. I found it pretty charming for the most part. Let's see. Look. Ship. Okay. Look. A hatch? Looks like the small round passage that it is. Whoop. Oh, jeez. I warned you to be careful. Did you listen? No. Good luck next time. Oh my gosh, we died. Oh my gosh, yes we did. Okay, that time I actually do feel bad for Roger. It wouldn't be so bad except for the sun stop at the end. Yeah, okay. How about open hatch? You move into position. Carefully, I'm assuming, and grabbing the dull finish of the hatch's handle, commence to open and enter the ship. Okay, we're making progress. Let's save our game. Give a new save here. In the ship, no slip, not this time. And let's look around. At first, you are surprised at how intact the ship's interior is. Immediately to your right is a panel with a red button. At midship on the right wall is the ship's main diagnostic computer. Directly across are 2 passenger seats. Ahead of you is the cockpit. Look, button. The button is clearly labeled ramp open close. Okay. And it looks like there's a hole down there. Look, hole. You look into the cavity and notice only 2 cable ends. Someone has made off with the ship's power supply. Well, take a look at our reactor. This is an auxiliary reactor. Put reactor in hole. You drop the reactor into the hole. In attempting to reconnect the cables, you find that one is much too short. Look wires. It's a piece of SQ-approved electrical wire. Put wires in hole. You carefully connect the wire between the ship and the reactor, putting the tile back in place once you've finished. All right, save our game and push button. The ramp is immobilized by the junk it's laying in, so you exit through the hatch instead. No. No. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, that's why I saved it. But let's see. Take... No. The game won't like that. Get in chair. And look, controls. Okay. Engines, navigation, takeoff, cruise, light speed, attack, radar, and weapons. Okay, this might be a time where I blow myself up, but we gotta give it a shot. We did just save after all, so let's try turning on engines. Thrust generation underway. Okay, all right. Adequate thrust achieved. But we are inside a ship, so we might have to create an exit. So, there's an attack speed? I don't know. Let's try it anyways. Let's try 6. A course must be set before selecting speed. Oh, weapon system. That's what we need. Weapon system inoperable while not in flight. Okay, well, let's just try taking off. Take off, baby. You feel a strong rumbling as the ship strains to loosen itself from the confines of the junk heap accumulated at its base. Finally, it begins to rise. There we go. What? Uh-oh. The ship rises successfully, but collides with the top of the freighter. The resulting explosion sends a potpourri of flesh and metal fragments careening in all directions. Yep, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, but... I'm not really a pilot. I'm a janitor. Dang it, Jim, I'm a janitor, not a pilot. Your radar is designed to avoid just such an occurrence. Okay, well, let's restore. Yes. Okay. Get in chair. Look controls. All right, well, we gotta power it up. Well, I mean, I guess I'm looking at what's lit in... what has been lit up. Me must talk good one day. So let's try radar. Radar is now in operation. Ooh, but then I still take off. And that still might kill me. But then again, now I'm using the radar. Okay, maybe the radar will notify me. Maybe now I got sensors, right? You feel a strong rumbling as the ship strains to loosen itself from the confines of the junk heap accumulated at its base. Okay, finally begins to rise. Where are we going, Roger? The ship rises several meters, then stops abruptly. Yes, okay, all right, we're good. An alarm from the computer attracts your attention. Ascent halted due to obstruction. Okay, radar, you and me, we are good. We are best friends right now. We can land... or we can use our weapons, which is what we want to do. We got to create an opening. Fire. Spacebar time. The shot blasts a new orifice in the side of the junk freighter. Unfortunately, your inadequately protected ship is struck and subsequently destroyed in the bottleneck of metallic objects striving to pass through the same relatively small opening. Whoa, Roger. Roger, buddy. This time I'm not killing you on purpose, okay? I'm not sure which one is worse, honestly, now that I say it out loud. Sudden decompression sucks. It does. That's true. Oh my gosh. Get in chair. Look controls. Friends, I hope you're enjoying this. I'm enjoying it. I mean, I'm not doing well, but I'm enjoying it. And hey, isn't that the main thing when you're playing games? All right, radar, take off. This part's good. I'm pretty sure it's good. Okay. So let's land, I guess. The ship settles back down into the nest of debris. Save game. Mino pilot. And maybe we can, wait, no. Okay, wait. F6. Get out chair. Get off chair. Stand. Push button. The ramp is immobilized by the junk. What? No! Come on. Get in. Hatch. Open. Hatch. Get in chair. Look controls. Take off. Alright, radar's still on, right? Okay. Maybe I can hover a bit? Your ship hovers between the garbage below and the ceiling above. This will never do. Oh, okay. Okay, alright. Okay, let's go back to weapon system. Maybe I'm missing something. Controls, shields. Okay, so I'm not protected. I need shields. Front, I guess, and spacebar. I assume the ship has a spacebar firing button. The shot blasts a new orifice in the side of the junk freighter. Shabam. All right, there we go. Yes. The pressure generated by the desire of the ship's atmosphere to escape to the considerably lower pressure of space causes your ship to be spit out like a watermelon seed. All right. Now let's save our game. Because we're a watermelon seed. Patooey! Well, hey, look at that. Very beginning of the game, we already made a daring escape. That's how games end, not begin. That's just the excitement to expect in Space Quest 3. So I think we'll stop there, continue on our adventure next week in the next video, guys. So I'm excited for it. I hope you are too. Please join me. Please tell me everything that's going on. Hopefully good things, please. It'll be good to see you, friends, and continue playing this game with you. So I'll see you all then. Take care.